A fantastic start to the new year. A fantastic one.
No, it's a behemoth start to a new year. It's 2,000 points.
Smash. Thank you, Alison.
No, it's SummerSlam. I swear
Smash.
I swear it's SummerSlam. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Old World Behemoths podcast. It is January 2026. This is our returning episode for the new year, the Behemoth New Year, and we're going to talk a bit tonight about some things we're hoping for and things we're planning for the new year. And then we're going to finish off spending a bit of time on the event that Alex, Chris, and I are going to on this weekend, Saturday the 10th, out at Blacktown, the SummerSlam event. My name is Alistair.
Yeah.
I am a behemoth. I am a behemoth because I still, as I recorded on the 29th of December, I still have a lot of my army to paint, and we are 3 nights away. So I'm a behemoth because I'm feeling confidently optimistic about my chances of getting these at least 3 color painted before the weekend. With me, of course, are the other behemoths, Alex, Tom, and Chris. Welcome. Tom, why are you a behemoth?
I'm a behemoth because I made it through yet another year. And I just want to say, from the behemoths, of course, Happy New Year. Oh, wrong one. God damn it. Happy New Year, everyone. No, again, wrong one. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2026. We're so happy to be here, and we're so excited to bring you some excellent content for the 2026 period. Season 2 of the Behemoths.
Bloody hell, Tom. Alex, why are you? Thank you, Tom. Alex, why are you a behemoth?
I don't want to talk about it. I had this experience where, you know how I joke with like the geriatric league of gaming?
Uh-huh.
For Warhammer Fantasy in the old world. I've been joking about it. Well, I lived it. Where I got this brand new iPhone 17 Pro.
He just wants to talk about it.
And I got the data transferred. I'll need at least 60 minutes on my, to soapbox on this. But it took me, Tom, 24 hours and a trip to the store to turn my SIM on. And I'm sitting there going, I can't get the eSIM to activate. This is definitely not user error. I get to the store. I hand them my 2 phones. They pop out my physical SIM from my old phone and put it in the new one. And I walk out.
Happens, man.
10 seconds later.
One in
no
5
words
men.
were spoken. Not a single word was spoken after I handed them the phones.
That's
just
often
didn't
what
even look at
happens.
each other
They hand
like-
you.
It was just this silent acknowledgement of, yep.
Welcome to the world, old man. Also, for those of you listening and not actually seeing us this evening, the reason why there may be a pause and a snort of disbelief or otherwise, Tom has found some new functions on his phone and is treating us to some thrilling backgrounds and animations, and I'm hoping someone found the soundboard that Gomo was using the other night, because I feel like there's a real missed opportunity.
That was me.
There. Was it you?
That was me. It was
What
on.
are you
It's
doing?
on the host functions. Yeah,
Mate, you should be using that from day one.
Where can I find this?
It might have been a live. I don't know if it was a live feature. It might have been a live feature.
Hang on. Have
Let's
I found it?
not go looking now.
Now seems like the great opportunity to spend 10 minutes looking for this. Chris, why are you a behemoth?
I'm a behemoth because I have a behemoth painting backlog to deal with in January, and I just went back to work, so I have no time.
Fair enough. That's where we love to be. I'm looking forward to putting everything away with its shitty paint job after this weekend, and then not thinking about it till the next event that I want to pull them out and go, oh, I should probably touch those up. Quite looking forward to that. Brilliant. Well, thank you. It's lovely to have the Behemoths back together again and to do an episode. But before we do anything else, I did forget last time that we recorded with our joint episode. If you haven't seen that one, go and check it out. We recorded with Old World Fanatics and the 2 Plus podcast for our end of year wrap. But thank you to our patrons Death 1942, Ghost, Pandem Wargaming, Joshua 6, Silver Dave, Gomo, Boned, Earl of Kent, Ulazed, Western Sydney Wargamers, The Boys, The Orange Juicer, Big Daddy H, Torytown 69, Prophet of Sotek, and James Alexander. Thank you so much for supporting us and the podcast and everything that we do. It helps make our job a lot easier when things like Riverside are supported. It helps us produce content, helps us make sure that we can keep bringing you our very useful and valuable opinions on what's happening within Warhammer the Old World every couple of weeks. Thank you, of course, because I've forgotten them 2 episodes in a row. I'm sorry, Chris. But thank you, of course, to 25 Creative as well for their continued support of the pod. They produced our graphic design work and our logo and our backgrounds and those sorts of things. So please go and check out 25 Creative if you're in the mood for some graphic design support. The Old World themed may become a niche product for them. Alex, you and I did a bit of prep work for our last episode with the boys from Old World Fanatics and 2+, and I vetoed your effort to have slides in that particular episode. So rather than spoil and waste those slides that you so carefully put together for us to have a conversation about, I thought that we could carry that on as a little bit of a conversation for what we are thinking of the next year, what we're hoping to see, some of the things we're planning to work on as a channel as well, or as a podcasting medium. So why don't you take us through, I suppose, what you were going to talk about Arcane Journal wise, release wise, everything else for the last couple of years, and what you want to see this year.
So this slide, even though you're making it out loud when this grand effort, actually appeared in episode 7.
Don't
with Gomo.
tell the people, Alex. The people.
I'm all about honesty. Now, this was, we discussed it with Gomo about the pace of releases that GW had. And in 2024, we had 7 releases. In 2025, back when we were talking to Gomo, we thought there were going to only be 8. And we got surprised by the Marauder faction release. Well, sorry, the burning of Westerland. We're in Game of Thrones. Anyway, and I've totally forgotten what the title is now off the top of my head. But the point of this slide was when we were going to have that discussion last week about saying if the commentary online is that they've increased the investment in the game, the pace of releases is going to quote unquote explode. Jab, the Holy Oracle, is talking about a lot of different things. If you check out the Old World Fanatics end of year review, there's a couple of people dropping bombs in there about all these plastic kits coming. The point I'm trying to make here is I think this year was a massive year of releases. Last year, 2025. So this year, if they even add 20% more to what they did in 2025, you're talking about almost 10 releases to the game. And the only way to show that in the best format is through this visual medium, which for those of you who cannot see it is quite literally just a snippet of all the different books that were released. This is not even including the made to orders. I'm only talking about things that were added to the game.
And of that, did you do a count? Did you count how many Arcane Journals we actually had in the last year? So it was 9. Fabulous. All right, tick next slide, please. I do hate that when someone sits in a meeting and someone else is controlling the pack and they go, next slide, please, for any of you who work in corporate.
You need the little clicker.
Just, I have a clicker,
but
I
unfortunately,
have it doesn't connect to Alex's computer. That's he's been through before. So, so I suppose I thought we could look at then expectations for 2026, and I've muddled these up in expecting my behemoths to add things to this. So if you're watching and you're seeing only 3 things on the screen, that's what you get. But hopefully my brilliant compatriots will come up with a couple of extra things that we want to look at. But let's split this into 2, because right now it's sharing a page, but let's split it into 2. So of the coming year, and we didn't do this on our live episode specifically because it was something that a lot of the other pods had done in their own episodes, but we haven't done it. So what specific thing, we know that the Old World FAQ and errata 1.6 is coming, I think literally next week, Alex just said. So it's coming right now, and it will probably change.
January, allegedly,
Okay.
hard allegedly next
Allegedly.
week. Yeah.
That is set to change the way the game works in the same way that 1.5 did, by the sounds of things.
Really?
Apart from that, it sounds like it's going to be, again, whether you can trust the rumor mill or otherwise, but it sounds like from a meta shift perspective, it's going to be sort of somewhat meaningful. Particularly around adjustments to cafe and some of the aspects that have seen them sort of dominate competitive scene in the last little while.
Tom couldn't get it in time. It's too late, mate. It's done.
Just as I start collecting them.
Sell all the balloons now.
Yeah, this
No,
is
that was a
exactly
birthday
what
present.
happens when you. This is exactly what happens when you take 3 months to paint a single model. So it looks beautiful, but you unfortunately run out of time.
Don't you start
So we know
me.
that's coming. We know that's coming. What I want from each of you is how you're thinking. And I suppose, Alex, did you put it on the slide after this or before this? The slide talking about predictions.
That's the slide after.
Okay, we'll move to that one and we'll come back to this one.
Yeah.
So I
did just want to touch on something here,
No,
though, because Tom's reaction to 1.6
Oh, yeah.
was like, oh, really? Was it going to change it? I think it's been 6 months since 1.5.
6 months.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't like GW do this level of update to AOS every 12 weeks, Chris?
12
or was that
weeks?
only points?
They do points basically quarterly. They do like a big FAQ, probably every 6 months. And then every year they release like a match play guide, which changes the missions and stuff like that. So
Okay. Okay. So we're kind of falling into line in terms of the FAQ cycle with the main studio.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
No, actually, that's a good point. Like, I think AOS is due for one just before CanCon or just after CanCon. So.
Okay. So coming back to predictions, I want your hottest take, please. What you think's going to come, outlandish or otherwise, in 2026? We said what we'd like to see, but what do you think is realistically going to happen? Now, Alex, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, and again, this is another slide that was from the Gomo episode 7, which I wanted to leave as is. I didn't want to get accused as somebody that was tinkering after the fact. But we said back then that this year's release was a luxury because we had 7 to 8. We ended up with 9 books. And back then, and that was only 4 months ago, we spoke about this. We said, we've got to readjust our expectations and we've got to get to 4 to 5 releases around the campaigns. I'm still sticking with most of the releases next year will be around the continuation of the story. So similar to the book we've just had and the Cetra invasion, we're going to see other things popping up. I, from memory, said we're going to we'll have a northern and a southern sphere. We're probably sticking with that in its own way, but ultimately we're going to go from the campaigns through to the release of my sweet baby bears.
They're coming.
Never going to happen.
It's coming, Chris.
I think it's an interesting point you make. to be honest, around the both revisiting our earlier prediction and otherwise. But I feel like our commentary around that when we did have that discussion is proving to be somewhat accurate in that it is these more theme focused, introducing single army of infamies, introducing small changes to the game. I mean, we've realistically only seen two of those versions of one after the Arcane Journal releases that covered all of the armies. So,
and one of them literally introduced common magic items.
This is
like,
true.
This is the other thing to think about. It's just because it's a story release doesn't mean that it doesn't have an impact upon the game.
Definitely. Chris, hottest take for 2026?
Probably that I don't think it'll be a great year for Old World. I don't think it'll be a good year for any of the non-40k systems. Because I feel like the 40k new edition is just going to both suck up
year,
a lot
right?
of their
11/3.
their production time and their I guess media as well. Like, I'm sure we'll get stuff, but I feel like they're just going to throw it out there and they're not going to actually like preview much. And
That's interesting because as someone that's just rediscovered Space Marine 2, which, oh my goodness, is just unbelievable, and watching all the narrative evolve around Titus, and from the Amazon production studios with Henry Cavill being rumored as being cast as Titus, and Titus is in the new 500 Worlds campaign, and 11th edition is coming, and Titus is in this, and Titus is in that. I'm here for it. Maybe I do agree, because I think we're going to probably get some huge news out of future of like Warhammer 40k cinematic universe news this year. And I think we're going to get some of the Amazon productions sort of kicking off that might not just be the Henry Cavill project plus 11th edition. Like, it'll all be coming out together, right? So, and we also just had Total War 3 or Total War Warhammer 40k announced as well. So it's going to be pretty fat.
I guess also, like, to expand the point about their media a little bit, I think they are in this weird halfway stage where they've got the Warhammer community site, which is actually a pretty good site, that I don't think they utilize enough. And then they've got those, the preview events that they do. And I don't think they do them well ever. Like, ever.
The last one was not fabulous.
Technical issues aside, I think like the format is garbage and how they do it is bad. But I think because 40k is just going to be so overwhelming this year, I think that the following year will be much better for every other game system, because I think there'll just be more breathing room for them to do stuff.
Yeah. Is this the year Old World Behemoths go 40k?
Oh, God.
No, surely
I still have my Imperial Knights, Tom.
No.
I still have my Imperial Knights. Who knows? They're the only 40k I had. In fact, that's a lie. I have my Tempestus Scions and I have my Imperial Knights.
I don't even need to hear about it.
After I found out they wiped Grotesques out of the game, I'm done.
This from the
You're done. That was only 2 days ago.
Yeah, done.
Alex is done. Officially done. New Dark Eldar release? No, done. Just so done. All right, Tom. Tell us. Give us that sizzling hot take for 2026.
Well, Alex he always talks about the Oracle that is Jav or Jar or Jarhead or whatever his name is. Always posting in our little Facebook chat. Oh, you heard about what he said this time?
Didn't
continuously.
Realize you'd gone Rastafarian, but go on with Jar.
And let's edit that out. And then the next question was, Alex posted a poem recently about the rumor mill for 2026, and in there were actually a lot of people didn't. I don't know if they didn't pick up on it or didn't reference it. I'm chronically offline, so I'm not really privy to the deep dives in Discord and Facebook and whatever have you. But there were heaps of references to hunger. There were heaps of references to fangs. And there was a little reference to something about Morn. Now, I know this is tinfoil hat supreme, but Fang, Morn Fang, hunger, the ogres are perpetually hungry, thank you, Grand Cathay, and Morn, Mountains of Morn. So I'm not saying that we're going to get an ogre release in 2026 for the old world, but maybe we're going to get some news about them getting shuffled around and coming out of Legacy. And a man can hope. And this is in conjunction, and potentially Jav, or whatever his name is getting confused because there is a rumored Age of Sigmar re-release of a lot of ogre models. I can't imagine that an Oracle would get so confused, but potentially, right? So a man can hope.
Not
A behemoth can
not
hope.
Alex's Lord and Savior.
No,
Not Alex's
not
Lord and Savior.
not this guy. This is like up the mountain in a cabin with volcanic fumes level of Oracle we're talking about. But
Okay, so he's
Tom, I was sitting there just talking fangs, hunger, and I was like, maybe the vampires are coming back, but maybe it's thirst. I guess it would be more of a thirst if it was vampires.
That's right.
And that
So you agree
concludes
with
the
me?
Behemoths analysis of Jab's, whatever his name is.
Oh, we could be
linguistic
here all night
breakdowns.
talking about that.
We absolutely could, but I don't think anyone would keep watching.
I do
So,
have to. I just have one more thing to ask. If you know
Please.
so much, right, Jav? I'm looking at you. Why not just tell us, right? Why not just let us know what's coming? It's no fun for me. It might be fun for you, but
No,
that makes
it
you a
is the
sicko.
fun. So I will jump to his defense
Oh, here we
because
go.
he's the only
He's found a
one
new
that gets up.
celebrity crush. Does he watch these videos,
Allegedly.
Alex? Are you going to try and get him on?
Allegedly, Tom, GW drops different information to try and smoke out the rats
Oh,
that are around the place, and so they're very sensitive to coming out and just naming explicitly what is happening because it might smoke out said leaks. And when have
But
we
a
ever
poem is
lived in this
super
universe
cryptic.
without a good lit? Yeah.
plausible deniability.
Oh gosh.
I feel
anyway.
like this company has better things to do with their time than stamp down or snuff out leaks. They are a massively profitable company
Yeah.
with a production schedule and design schedule that's set months, if not years, in advance. I don't see the to take Tom's reference, the
just point
tinfoil
out-
hat approach of.
Can I just point out that there have been leaks at GW for decades. There is an entire website that I used to go to, the 40K one.
They had
Fate
212,
212 or
baby.
something. He
Yep.
would just
I'd troll
collate
that website for hours a day.
thousands
Everyone
of leaks
will be checking it daily.
every year. Like, you can say that they're trying to rat someone out. Well, they're fucking not doing a good job, are they?
It's funny
Anyway.
being over. I don't know if you guys realize or remember, but I went to Europe last year, and I went to a place called Warhammer World, and it was very special.
Did you?
And I was waiting in line
Wow.
to purchase. What was I purchasing? I think I bought the Cathay Grand Army Journal or whatever because I was excited and I needed to bring back something. And I was standing in line and watching people order different products. And the person serving them would always be like, oh, cool. A lot of these people are actually Games Workshop staffers. So they were saying, hey, what department are you in? And they'd sort of cryptically be like, design. And they'd be like, oh, cool. What kind of design? They say, oh, no. So no one in the company knows where each other are, right? That's the level of sort of secrecy that we've evolved to. And one guy was talking about, he was a 30K sculptor, talking to, unbeknownst to him, a 30K rules writer, and they were looking at each other like, and nothing. They didn't give each other anything. And I had, those Harry Potter ears that Fred and George wore. I was putting them everywhere. I was all around trying to get leaks to sell to Jav.
Wiretapping headquarters.
Couldn't get nothing.
Moral
But
of
some
this
of those
story
sculptors
is,
are working 3 years in advance, surely.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, Alex. But moral of this story is that if you hang out in Nottingham at the Warhammer store, then send us your leaks. We'd love to hear what you overhear in the utter police state that is Games Workshop design. My 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 hot take for 2026 is, as the center of the center of the screen that we're looking at has the very old version of this. I think Dogs of War are coming back. I think there's been enough indicators, passive indicators, to tell us that we're going to see Dogs of War. Probably not in the same Army of Infamy style with all of the old classic ones, but I think we're going to get new ones. I think the simple fact that Renegade Crowns makes reference to Dogs of War, it's either a massive typo, but it's referenced nowhere else in the old world, so it doesn't feel like it's stolen from anyone else's book or overwritten from anyone else's book. But because that simply references Dogs of War as a mercenary archetype, I think we're going to see a big flux of mercenary units over the next couple of Arcane Journal releases, which I'm quite excited about because I think Renegade Crowns has some real potential if they are able to fill those gaps.
Yeah, I'm curious how they would execute that, because I feel like the made to order system is perfect for getting the models into people's hands, but then there's a huge lag time on that, because I believe the way it works is you put in your order, they basically collate a whole bunch of orders, and then they pump them out in the factory and then ship them, and it could take like a year. So if you pump out a whole bunch of Arcane Journals where you sprinkle some Dogs of War units in, when do you drop that made to order to kind of
Well, this is also what I'm
orders?
saying. I'm not sure whether they'll utilize the old Armies of Infamy that came with Dogs of War. I think we'll get different versions of them, and thus the units, the characters, all of those things that made the old Dogs of War sort of what they were will be changed to sort of fit this new version of Warhammer. But it'll be Armies of Infamy that similar to Renegade Crowns that include profiles from different armies, profiles from different books and forces and those sorts of things that will end up comboing into something really interesting. But that is my fun hot take. If you could go back to the previous slide, please, Alex. Now we've talked a little bit about maybe what we want to see. Let's talk about what we're doing as a channel for the coming year. So there's a few things to highlight. The first is obviously our event that's coming up in February, which I really should have added to this slide. But there's our event, our Legacies of War 2 event coming in February. We've just filled our 10th team slot for that after some shuffling around of teams and Tom and Chris both ditching partners to come together. So that's one of our big events. This year, I'm hoping to do another one towards the end of the year as well and keep our footing in the doubles space because we love a bit of doubles and it's fun to be able to bring that to the community as well. Tom, you're looking at doing a few battle reports, aren't you?
Yeah. So actually, with Alex. So ages ago, I showed off these bad boys, microphones for battle reports. Alex just got a new iPhone, and I've ordered an external hard drive so we can record our beautiful 4K videos to this external hard drive, and then they can be edited. Snip, snap, slop. Snip, snap, slop. I don't know. We're going to go with it though.
Snip, snap, slop. Yeah, love it.
we were hoping actually to record our first battle report this Friday, but unfortunately something's come up for Alex. But lo and behold, they're coming soon, and our goal is to have at least one done by the end of January. So that's going to be really exciting, and it's going to be really cool to get into the space of sort of battle reports. Ed is one of the really good friends of the channel. He has a board. He's really keen to do some battle reports with us as well, and he's got some beautifully fully painted armies. So yeah, we're in it. We've got the gear. It's just a matter of time and getting it all set up. So that's going to be really exciting. I'd like to aim for one a month, and I don't think that would be too hard, but that's the goal for 2026. So stay tuned for battle reports from the Behemoths.
Awesome.
Should point out,
yeah, go on.
42 degrees on Friday, Saturday, and Australian summer is not kind to our battle report schedule.
For
I went
those
for a run today
for
in the middle of the day, and I just copped it. And I was sweaty, and I got in the shower at work, and after I got out of the shower, it was the coldest shower I've ever had in my life. And for the next 40 minutes, I was still sweating in a fully air-conditioned building, just like I looked like a raccoon when I came out of it. Like I was
That's called a
bruised.
heat
I was
stroke.
bloody. I don't know what it was, but good run.
That's what you get with 35 degrees and 98% humidity. For those of you who don't know, or rather to give you a little bit of a behind the curtain for said battle reports, we will be doing them at Alex's home in a space that he's set up. But however, that space is not air conditioned. So we will be picking our timing with those battle report episodes to ensure that our comfort does also not mean that you are having to witness sweaty pits as people are leaning over the table or huffing
And also
and
models
wheezing and
melting
puffing.
on the spot. That'd be
Well,
just
that
like
too.
one of those weapons just starts going,
I tell- I'll tell you what we did benefit from though, boys, was, my wife, she bought this table, like overhang pole, and it's so you can drape nice Christmas decorations at the Christmas table. It's really wonderful. But you know what it doubles as? A camera and lighting mount on our recording table.
big time.
So you can watch in 4K, 120 FPS as it collapses onto Tom's ogres.
Imagine
Tom.
I
buddy.
go through all of these 3 months going hell for leather to actually get these ogres painted, and then the first battle report, a collapse and a catastrophic destroy of an army.
I saw for all of you at home, there was an absolute 1,000-yard stare on Tom's face just a moment ago as he contemplated what that image would look like. I think we're also taking a bit of a focus on hobby this year, and more in terms of returning to some of the hobby material that I think we did early on, but we've not really had the time to do. And honestly, I feel a little bit sad that I've not had the opportunity to record my hell for leather painting spree of painting a whole army in 10 days, but I'm kind of glad for the fact as well, because it is not good looking. But I think some of the things you'll be able to look forward to are taking a little bit of a look at Tom's amazing process. Some of you know how amazing Tom's ogres look, and it will be super fun to see behind the curtain on those and see them come together as well. But I think we have some technical tutorials as well coming. Alex will probably look a little bit more at oil washes. I know he's got one up there as well. I'll be doing a little bit more on water effects. I have a video to produce for water effects, but I just not have had time. I will point out, it is the end of school holidays. And for anyone who has kids, I know Tom and Chris, you don't, but Christ, I could use a holiday at this point. I know Alex feels the same, but my
That's what
daughter
it works for.
My daughter is going into year 1, and she is taking great pains to remind everyone that she gets 6 weeks Christmas holidays. And so we are only 3 weeks into her 6 weeks of Christmas holidays. And man, I've never looked forward to February more in my entire life. But anyway, with school holidays ending, with children returning, hopefully I'll have a bit more time. Alex will have a bit more time. Tom and Chris will also be looking a little bit more at now. Tom's, do you return to university at some point?
In February. So your daughter goes back and I go back too. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, expect lots of material from Tom between now and February. And then when he goes back to university and we don't hear from him for 4 months, Alex and I can pick up the slack in terms of production.
Hey, man, someone's going to have to defend you in a few years, and it's going to have to be me.
From all the stuff that we said on
Considering
this
your bloody
podcast.
track record, you know?
Mate, what goes on the internet stays on the internet. All right. So I think, was there anything else any of you wanted to add as far as 2026 and what we're looking at, what we're looking forward to, or anything else you wanted to bring up?
I'm starting a
I
cafe.
think we're going to be focusing. Oh, gosh. Mate, you're too late to the party.
Look at
You're
him.
too late to the party. They're going to get
Look at it.
destroyed.
Give him a little tickle.
We can't see it, mate. It's blurry.
But you know what it is, so it's a balloon.
It's 3 balloons. It's 3 balloons.
No,
Three
only ever
balloons.
one. Only ever one. Torytown69 gifted one and one only, and that will be the only one that graces the presence of the table.
Oh gosh, you can borrow my airbrush for it because that thing.
I
is
got an airbrush,
fat.
but I have to tell you,
What?
it was
Did you get the Temu one?
so for Secret Santa. I got an actual airbrush from from Torytown69's sister, but it's not any airbrush, boys. It is a beauty
cake one?
airbrush system. A very important distinction. And I'm still yet to figure it out, but I'm very, very excited to do it. So yeah, that's going to be what paints that balloon.
Amazing.
That could generate a lot of interest, Tom. How to use a beautician's airbrush to paint a Cathay balloon. It's niche, but I think it could work.
Insert
think so.
sales link here.
Yep. Now, just to cap it off, I think one of the other things we'll be looking to focus on is getting as many people on as we can
Yes.
to ask them what makes them a behemoth.
Very important for us to know what makes everyone a behemoth. If you've been watching for 18 episodes, you'd know that. And we'd love to know, I suppose, open invitation from this point forwards to our audience, and maybe it's something that we need to build into our intro. But what makes you a behemoth? Leave a response in the comments. But yeah, I think that will be a big focus for us. I think we've already got a couple of really interesting conversations lined up over the next little while. We'll have some returning guests and some new ones as well in coming episodes. We're very much looking forward to that. So there will be a big focus on us having some conversations with some of the really interesting people in the community over the next few months as we sort of look to, again, keep talking about and understanding the old world. With that as our capstone, let's talk a little bit about the event that's coming up on the weekend, as I know so many of you are waiting to hear of our core audience of 30 people from Western Sydney Warhammer. The event is, of course, I think we covered this is in the last one or two episodes, but it is the Summer Slam from Western Sydney Wargamers. It's 2,000
The Summer
points.
Smash. Thank you, Alistair.
No, it's Summer Slam. I swear
Summer
it's
Smash.
I swear it's SummerSlam.
John,
I saved
in the comments.
I say
Thank
I saved it in the drive as SummerSlam. I swear. Oh man, you're making me second guess. No, SummerSlam. It is. It says SummerSlam lists. It is.
Open the
What are
players
you
back.
doing? What are
Open
you
the
doing?
players back.
Summer Smash. Okay, yeah. All right. That's not my fault. That's someone else's fault. Summer Smash. It's definitely not my fault. 800 points character cap, I think, is the big one, as Chris has talked about or lamented for ogres and the impacts of that. There are unit caps. Go and check out the players pack if you get the opportunity to understand what they are. I think one of the big things, again, that they're playing with is scoring. There is progressive scoring missions this time around, which will change things really interestingly. It is on your turn progressive scoring, where it was the last event, I think, end of round progressive scoring. So they're sort of shifting that.
Who would have thunk?
And all core, who would have thunk? And all core and infantry units are scoring units. So it's yeah, again, quite different in terms of them trying to encourage different aspects of play. And I'm not sure, looking at the lists, whether, I mean, things have changed quite a bit. There's no vampire counts. There's only one Tomb King, potentially because of the changes or the limitations they've put on vampire counts. And in fact, any undead aren't allowed to take battle standard bearers, I don't think. And core units for any undead cannot take magical banners, which was really interesting. And then the other one was no character mounts for Cathay balloons, and Ring of Jet, I think, was made a once per army item as opposed to being an extremely common item. But those were the only targeted comp limitations I think that they put in this time around. But the other thing to mention is baggage trains. There's a baggage train in every single mission this time around. There's one in number
First
one.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, first two missions.
Is there not one in the third as well?
I don't think so.
I thought
One
they were, I
moves,
thought they
doesn't
were
it?
all in all three.
But
Yes,
critically, yeah,
mission two,
in
you
the
can-
second mission, it moves.
It gains the
And
dragged along special rule.
The boys needed a whole page of FAQs just
They did. I
just
did
to
find
work
it
that
quite.
one out.
I did find it quite interesting, but I suppose the way that they've tried to do it is try and make it make sense.
I love it.
It will be super exciting. It will be really interesting to see what shenanigans happen with the baggage train, because I think they were talking a little bit about, what happens if you follow up or if you pursue. I think the baggage train goes
Yeah.
with you, but if you flee, you drop the baggage train and you run away.
If you follow up or give ground, it comes with
or
you.
give ground.
If
okay,
you pursue, charge, or flee, it drops.
excellent.
Or
Which
fall
is-
back in good order.
Yeah, which is a great thing, because it's obviously the unit that's dragging it along suddenly tries to save themselves or otherwise. I think it's a great change.
We're missing the number one thing about the list. Everyone was asking, is there a list review coming? There's only one thing we need to know, and that's all of the Ogre players are attending. There's now 4, I think, 5, maybe, Chris, that are coming. Oh, except one.
No background or animation for that one, Tom. So I
They've
think
all copied your list, though.
they have. I think it's more than 10% of lists are ogres lists, which is something of an amazing
Fuck out of here. What?
outcome given given the limitations that we've seen. So we're gonna look at our lists. I'd love to hear from. So Tom is not unfortunately coming along, but Tom, obviously, your hot takes are welcome. But from Alex, Chris, and I think we'll talk to our lists, maybe a little bit about what you were thinking putting it together, game plan without any spoilers, and then I've got your opponents' lists as well. And I want to hear a little bit about what you're thinking with them. But then we're going to do something fun, and we're going to ask everyone else what their prediction on your matchup is going to be. So I think
How
we
many
start,
Cathay
Alex, with
players are
you.
coming?
Well,
2.
I was about to jump on that. Only 2.
Yeah.
And when you flick through the list as well, even though I joke about the ogres just to give you guys shit, when you think about last Oldhammer, where we had Double Dragon first place, undead, like times a million undead. Only one undead. Cathay is here. No Double Dragons. Just no Dark Elves. The spread of the list. There's more Ogre players than there are Cathay players. There's more Chaos Dwarf players than there are Cathay players. Or undead players.
Maybe I need
And
to
I
get
can
back into
hear,
the
like-
Cathay real quick then. If they're the underdog now, hey? Ditch the ogres.
It is
They
it
certainly
is
will
hard to get an army up and running, and particularly Cathay, because I think there's a lot of details to paint on that.
And they're
So
also
I could
brand
see
new,
that
yeah,
taking another
exactly.
probably 6 months.
Yep. All right. Okay. My list, which was
Filth.
the most embarrassing list on the page when you scroll down, and everyone had whole A4 pages. Was I the only guy to copy it as like the short summary version?
Yeah, it feels
No.
that way. It does feel that way, that you've given the absolute limited summary. It's also demons though, and demons don't have like a lot of, you don't have armor, so you don't have that like extra layer of stuff and
Of things to buy.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
But yes, no, yours was certainly entertaining, as the people will see as we tick over into other people's lists. Yours being the absolute shorthand was just chef's kiss. It was so good.
Well, yeah. So the demons are making a return, and I'm the only demons player this time round. Although Australia's number 1 demon player is attending, Bobby Gherkin. However, he's switched to ogres now.
He's
So
seen the light.
he wants to top all of the worst performing legacy factions, I think was his statement. So I am the sole one. Papa Nurgle's coming back, the Great Unclean One. This time around, he's not a level 4 wizard, Matty. He is a stock standard level 1 because he comes base, but I've gone for the trappings of Nurgle to give him a 4+ full plate armor save. So he now is toughness 7, 4+ armor save, 5+ ward save, 5+ regeneration save, with an asterisk on the regen in case of magical attacks.
Dragons eat the heart out.
And yep, he's got his plague flail, which is a ogre blade, effectively. That he'll be just in there jamming up the middle of the board to try and stop things. He's not a killing behemoth. He's just I'm going to throw this at you and nothing's going to touch him. Watch him die first turn.
No, I think I have the only list that would be able to kill him in one turn. I don't think even
the only two games he's died in is your list.
Mhm.
When we played that one time, and even though I jokingly said Matt killed him with like 80 crossbow shots and then a Dark Elf Master charging him on 1 wound.
Amazing.
Having to do 1. Now, I was torn because I wanted to run a Lord of Change, which is traditional on the Zinch, but I didn't go for that in the end. I went for a Demon Prince. And I'll explain why in a minute. But he's got heavy armor, level 4, twin heads, iridescent corona, and demonology. Now, iridescent corona, Alistair, has changed substantially since we've been playing it. Now, iridescent corona,
Alex.
for those of you who don't know,
it has.
is when you shoot at this model, you have a -1 to hit modifier applied. Now, I innocently asked whether or not, just to confirm, I better check this because something popped up in the Demons Discord that it only applies to models in a singular fashion by themselves, a lone model. And I asked the SWG boys, "Is this the case?" And they went, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible."
Every game that Alex and I have played for the last 6 months.
Against you. Thankfully, I didn't bring it in any of the previous tournaments, so I'm safe. My record is safe on that one. But against you, yes, unfortunately, I've had to drop it. But it's meant that I've been able to shuffle around. But the Demon Prince is just going to be flying around. Sorry, he does have his upgraded wings to be Fly 9. Flying around, he is still tough. I mean, a couple of cannonballs can nuke him out. But 5+ armor, 4+ ward, 5+ regen is still pretty good. The entire point of him is to try and get Steed of Shadows on here. Because when we talk about infantry scoring in this mission pack, it's all about flying my scoring units around the board, which we'll go into now. So, yes, Alistair?
I was just wondering, Alex, there's a unit in Special. And, it said all infantry is scoring, and I'm sure that they've extended that to monstrous infantry with
We're not there
with all
yet.
things in
We're
mind.
not there yet, Alistair.
Are you sure? Because I feel like we should jump to the toughness 5 infantry.
In core, we've got 15 Chaos Furies, 6 Furies of Khorne, and 6 Nurglings. Now, I did want to bring 8 Nurglings because they are scoring in core with the Great Unclean One. Now, I love Nurglings because there's 7 wounds apiece. They have the demonic ward save and a 6+ regeneration save, which through the spectacle of maths means that after attacks and things like that, they really have about 10 wounds on paper on how many wounds you need to push through to be able to kill them.
I can attest to this because for everyone saying, "Oh, Nolan kills everything," it's like, great. Try shooting a unit of Outriders at the Nurglings and see how far they get.
I think I actually lost more to combat resolution, the demonic instability, than I did to 30 Outrider shots.
You did.
Now, yeah. Now, I wanted to go 8, but I went 6 because of the fact that there's skirmish and they only move 4. So if they're in a bad charge, you'll lose half the bases to when they have to collapse in. So I went with 6 to be a bit safer and save points. The Furies, again, thanks to Alistair, I didn't actually have Furies in the list before, but I realized I needed something to chase down the 5 or 6 known players that were going to come to Oldham, right? So I made sure to bring them. One of them is scoring with the 15 Furies. I brought this. They don't have a mark. The 6 Furies of Khorne are there to just hunt down Cathay War Machines was my thinking because of the Ogre Loader being toughness 4. I thought I'd better bring strength 5 Furies that they can just beeline straight into those units to try and take them out. Because on the charge, even if 4 Furies make it, that's still 8 attacks of strength 5, which is probably going to kill enough of the crew.
Are they weapon
win that
skill 3
combat.
or weapon skill 4?
They're weapon
Furies?
skill 3,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah, Chris would be triggered if they were 4.
Yeah, I would.
Like my Hounds of Chaos. Now, funnily enough, the only unit in this list that can move the baggage train in Mission 2 are those 15 Furies.
Amazing. Don't they?
So
But
I
they have
don't-
to be formed up, don't they, to move it?
Well, if they do, then they're cooked.
Yeah.
Because I can't move it. Because I can't. I'll check. I'll get that checked. Okay, on to the special. 4 Flamers of Tzeentch with an Exalted Flamer, level
That's
3
not the first entry
Demonology,
under special.
Power Vortex.
Isn't there?
Really?
What's above?
I'm dyslexic. Power Vortex is -1 to casting within a 24-inch bubble, as in like the dispel range of it. And again, Flamers are good. They're not as cooked, like S tier broken as they were before the magic nerf when they were getting
such a shame that
+4.
Iridescent Corona can't give them yet another -1.
Well, they
to hit.
did. Well, I've swapped it out for Power Vortex.
Oh yeah. No,
to
I'm
go
glad.
-1
I'm
to
glad
casting.
that this time
Yep.
around you've swapped it out after playing me for 6 months and me having to shoot at -2.
Yep. -3, thank you, with cover. But yeah. So Demonology again, because keep coming back to this. Fundamentally, I wanted the maximum chance to get Seed of Shadows. So I think it's like a 90% chance, 92% chance of me getting at least 1 Seed of Shadows in this setup.
Alex, you've said Steed of Shadows a couple of times. So
Yeah.
why is Steed of Shadows so important to your list? Please tell the people.
Because there are 6 Beasts of Nurgle, Alistair, that form basically the center of my scoring capability. They're not going to be going out there and smashing down dragons and other things like that. But in this list, scoring units, the 6 Nurglings, the 6 Beasts of Chaos, and the 15 Furies. Now, Steed of Shadows.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to explain why Beasts of Nurgle make such good scoring units.
1, all infantry are scoring in this setup, but 2, they are toughness 5, 4 wounds, 5 up ward save, 5 up regeneration save. They have infernal favor 1. They're high leadership with the great unclean 1 being leadership 9, which means they're effectively leadership 10 for demonic instability. They have D6 plus 1 poisoned attacks each when they attack. They are closed order. So when you go into combat with them, and they're Nurgle, so you have to reroll 6s to hit against them in combat. They're not Dragon Ogres. Don't mistake them. They're not Dragon Ogres. But what we've found is even a couple of Beasts of Nurgle can hold a dragon in place for multiple turns.
I think Dragon Ogres wished they were Beasts of Nurgle, to be perfectly honest.
Only you. Everyone says they're trash, so we're putting it to the test.
Unbreakable
because-
toughness 5 infantry, forcing you to reroll 6s to hit with
Scoring.
You constantly either forget scoring. You constantly either forget or neglect to also mention that they cannot award combat resolution
Oh, yeah.
points to the flank or the rear. They are totally
Yes, this is
immune
true.
from flank or rear charges.
Yeah.
And can't they declare and accept challenges like like
They
characters
can.
themselves,
They can.
Alex? Each
They
model?
can. If you need to. Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could. If something like like an absolute killer dragon was coming into them, you could just accept one and let that character murder one beast of Nurgle and then keep going. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But they are infantry. The Nurglings are infantry as a swarm. So Steer the Shadows means that I can fly them around the board 24 inches.
You hear that, people at home? Flying toughness 5 beasts of Nurgle coming to you and where you live very soon.
We'll see how it goes.
Year of the
But there's
Demon.
no Bloodthirster. There's no Lord of Change. My entire setup is just to play the missions, obviously, except for the dragging of the baggage train. So who am I playing?
Who's the poor soul, the poor individual who's playing you in the
poor
first round?
individual, sure, is Jeff, friend of the channel, and our episode 5 guest, I think he was.
Yeah,
Jeff and I are
owner of Pandem Wargaming. For those of you out
shout
there
out to
following
them.
along.
Shout out to them. Go there for all your terrain and wargaming printing needs.
We are not sponsored.
Now, we're not sponsored, but we love them nonetheless. Now, Jeff and I are having our annual first game. It was a year ago that he and I played each other. So we're coming back, baby. He's bringing Chaos Dwarves with a untraditional list. Normally he brings the big heavy hitters, but this time he's gone for a bit more of shooting. So he's got a Demonsmith Sorcerer, level 2, on foot, Lore Familiar Dark Magic, which is an interesting choice. Fundamentally, I think he's going for -1 toughness, -1 strength on the casting. Another Demonsmith Sorcerer on foot with the Staff of Quietude. That's the eliminate all the remains in play spells off of a leadership test, which on dwarves is pretty much like an 88%, 85% guaranteed to go off.
Very close to being fully guaranteed. Yeah.
Seneschal, which is his BSB with the Lamasu's Beard, which provides a bubble ward save. So it's the reverse of the Master Rune of Grugni in dwarves. So the unit holding it this time gets a 6-up, and the unit it bubbles out to gets a 5-up in the shooting phase, which against things like my Demon Prince shooting out the summoning and my Flamer shooting out the summoning is going to come in handy. He's got a Hobgoblin Khan on foot again with a great weapon shield, and his core, this is what I love, 46 Hobgoblin Cutthroats.
Love it.
18 Infernal Guard with great weapons, drill. The Overseer's Sigil. The Overseer's Sigil removes levies from the Cutthroats, which means that they can now benefit from the BSB, the leadership of the general and the BSB. And the BSB reroll, which is massive because it turns them from, I think, leadership 6 or 7 with Warband to 9 off the general, or 10.
It gives him the absolute freedom to not have them stacked up as well.
Yeah. 5 Infernal Guard with Fireglaves, which I think he's using just to guard the baggage train, to slow down people for a turn. 3 Bull Center Renders with the Totem of Wrath. These are Chris's favorite unit. They're so balanced. This is actually quite funny because, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but they're AP2 on their impact hits, so D3 impact hits each. So the Totem of Wrath takes them to AP -3 on their impact hits, re-rolling
once
to wound. So I think they're the reverse of Dragon Ogres from memory, so they're strength 4, which will come in handy. So keen to see that. How would they go? We won't derail too much.
They'll be scoring. They'll be scoring in this, right?
No, I think they're cavalry.
Cavalry.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bull Centaurs.
I think they're
cavalry.
like. Yeah. So we'll keep going. But 2 Death Shrieker rockets, 12 sneaky gits in special. They counter scoring because they're infantry.
Mm-hmm.
A bull center Torek with heavy armor shield, obsidian van braces, and the black hammer of Hashut. The black hammer is basically like their ogre blade. D3 wounds, magical attacks. It's the thing that I need to keep my Great Unclean one away from because he can actually, if he removes the regeneration save from the Great Unclean one via the magical attacks, and he's doing D3 wounds, and he's taking away my armor save, I'm reliant just on my ward save, which might come through, but you never know. And a Dreadquake Mortar, which is there to -1 movement, and it takes away Swift Stride as well, I believe.
It
Off the
does.
top of my head.
It's what the Cathay Great Cannons are based on.
Yeah. So the thing they can take away the movement, Swift Stride from my Furies, which means that I need to effectively make sure I don't deploy both Fury units together. If I think there's a rule somewhere that states that even if I do get Seed of Shadows off, the -1 will still apply. So it's a nice tool to have. But this is from a scoring perspective, 46 Hobgoblin Cutthroats. He outnumbers my scoring units by a lot. And in our first mission is control the hill. So even if I scout my Nurglings up onto the hill, they're only unit strength 18. I would need to get through 30 Hobgoblins in order to stop him from getting the hill, which he can just put in the marching column and shoot straight up the board.
There you go. So Tom and Chris, your prediction: who's gonna win?
Do you want to go first, Chris?
No Iron Demon, so yeah, no Iron Demon, and I'd say that's the best unit in Chaos Dwarves. So I think he's going to struggle. Also, the War Machines aren't the best. If they hit, they're great, but if they don't, they're what he spent 500-ish points on War Machines, and if they don't hit, he's in big trouble. I think he'll be fine.
Very good. So Chris's prediction is Alex. Tom?
I have two questions. The first question is the end of round scoring, the progressive scoring from the hill. What do you get from it? What's the VPs?
100 VPs at the end of your turn.
VPs. As end of your turn, yeah.
End of your turn and in the enemy player's turn as well.
So you only get it at the end of your turn. So each player who's capable of scoring scores at the end of their turn.
So they're not sticking to the match play here, right? Because that's how it works in the match play guide, right? You score at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, think only think about the end of your turn.
All right. If they had have gone with the match play, I think I would have said advantage Chaos Dwarves here because I don't know how your output is, but you're probably going to struggle to get through 46 Goblin Cutthroats in good order. But if it's just
with
end
a 5
of your
up
turn,
ward saving and shooting.
Yeah, exactly. If it's just, sort of the end of turn scoring, i.e. you can only score in your end of turn, 100's not too much. Like you could probably smack the Death Streakers, or a unit of his to try and make up that difference each time. Yeah, I think he'll probably win on scoring and then you'll win on points. That's my prediction, I'd say. But I think that the amount of scoring is quite scary, the potential. Yeah. What's your prediction,
I didn't
Alex?
mention. Well, the other comments I probably should have mentioned was, even though the sneaky gits are scoring, they've got ambushes, right? And we can't forget that we do have a baggage train in this scenario. So,
of course,
when I look at this, sneaky gits is anti-baggage train scoring with someone like the Bull Centaur moving fast to try and take it out, and the artillery to try and reduce that. 46 Hobgoblins with a 5 up ward save against shooting is going to be very
insane.
tough. to deal with. Again, like everything, it's going to be who goes first, who gets what. I am genuinely not excited for the fact that he's going to get Word of Pain off every single turn. I know it now on
You know it in
my
your gut.
units. I know it in my gut.
Despite the -1
and-
to cast and the fact that you've got a level 4 for dispels and all of that sort of stuff, you still think he's going to get it
matter.
off? Okay.
It doesn't matter, Alistair. These are biblical prophecies
Okay.
that we know are going to come true.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a close game. I think if the Bull Centaur can do work, like he could legitimately chew through the Beasts of Nurgle if you're not careful. So talking about that whole thing, I could challenge out the Bull Centaur and just let him kill one beast a turn, effectively. Or I could go just, you know what, let's just have a great unclean one off and you charge me. And if I survive, I'd probably kill him back if I survive. But we'll see. Chris, can the Bull Centaur join the Bull Centaur renders? I assume yes,
think
but I
he
wasn't sure if
can.
it was like a Shaggoth Dragon Ogre
Let me
situation.
check.
Wouldn't see why not. He's a character
It's
unless
the,
he has.
it's the same time. I'm just checking if he has Loner. He does have Loner.
Do they
Do the
also
Bull
have
Centaurs
Loner
have-
though? The Bull
That
Centaurs.
is an excellent question. They
They
do.
do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
he can.
there you go. So he
It's-
can join them.
Oh, sorry, he can. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So, yeah, that's good. And, you know, look, they also come with a source of weapons too, the Bull Centaurs. So when you think about the unit, and there's a lot of source of weapons. I think the Infernal Guard carry them as well. I would assume so.
Yeah. pretty
About
strong.
removing the regeneration saves, even just like the Nurglings, right? You can just remove a couple. It's only the ward save that is now consistent. So I'm looking forward to it. But I am worried about the 46 hobgoblins because if they manage to get near that hill with that 5-up ward save, even like my entire block of Beasts of Nurgle being engaged in there, that's probably my best threat against them, right?
Yeah.
Is 66 plus 6 attacks.
Infernal Guard don't have it. It's the Iron Sworn, which is like an upgraded version.
Okay.
Doesn't have any of those.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and Jeff and I are on table 22 of it. So we didn't mention Alistair. We should do a bit of a PSA. This is going to be a disaster if it's wrong, but I believe we're in a different room on
Are we?
Saturday because we've grown to 44 players.
Oh.
So they've had to go to a different room. There's 22 tables and they're trying out a new space. Please, John, comment if that is not true.
I'm sure they will put something in the WSWG chat that all the players are
I will
in.
happily take the blame on the day.
So
Whilst I hide in my table 22 corner.
maybe double check if you're attending the event. Double check in that chat as opposed to listening to Alex's potential incorrect information. Chris, I think you're up next. I will say, anyone paying attention to the video, I am painting as we're going. I made a glib comment to the boys that I would paint
So
if I got
rude.
bored. I am not bored. I am just desperate to continue painting and ensuring that I have a painted army in place for the weekend. But that is not impacting my listening because my ears still work. So, Chris?
Pretty standard ogre list. Sorry. Level 3 Slaughtermaster, Battle Magic, Law Familiar, Demon Slaying Scars, so he causes terror and the unit that he joins causes terror.
Very good.
Spangle Shard just for the ward save until I inevitably roll a 1 on the very first ward save that I make.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Tyrant on a Stonehorn with Tenderizer and Talisman of Protection. So I went with Tenderizer partly because Ogre Blade got nerfed, but Yeah, so I think I strike last, but I'm hoping that the Stonehorn and the Talisman of Protection will keep him alive so he can swing back. Death Cheetah will help there as well. And when he swings back really hard. 40 Noblars, so 2 units of 20. I'm not doing I can't remember what the number was, trick. Is it 34 or something for
26, I think it was.
26? There's
A
some
marching column trick.
Yeah, the shenanigans around that. The only reason I'm not doing that is I painted 40 and I really don't want to paint another 20 right now. But I probably will do that in the future. Gutstar, 9 Iron Guts, Veteran, Cannibal Totem for the ward. Oh no, regen, sorry. 2 units of Sabertusk with Scouts, so I'm gonna try and dump them in my opponent's face a little bit, just to piss them off a bit, make them maybe turn some of their army away early. Iron Blaster, standard cannon, and then the Mournfang with, again, I put Demon Slaying Scars in this unit on the champion, so I'm hoping the Terror does something, but if I face off against seemingly a lot of the lists at this event, it's probably not going to do a whole lot. And finally, the Gorger. I'll probably put him in ambush, again, just to harass my opponent's backline. And I think with ambush and the amount of baggage strain stuff that we have, I think it will be a little bit better. Normally, the Gorger's not amazing for its points, but yeah.
Did you pay for ambush? Or
I
do they
think
have to
it
pay for
comes with
Scouts and
ambush
Vanguard
default.
instead?
You got to pay for
Does
Scouts
it?
and Vanguard. It comes with ambush by default.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. And who are you playing, Chris?
I have no idea.
You're playing Chris.
No, I'm
You're playing the other
Chris
Chris.
off.
It's a Chris off.
Yeah,
A christening,
Beastmen.
you might say.
Terrible. Go home. I have played against Beastmen once before, but it was a Razor Gore spam setup and one big unit of Minotaurs. I handled that okay. I have no idea what this list does. The ambushing Minotaurs are scary because I don't have a lot of units to kind of turn and deal with ambushing units. I might have to just ignore them and just kind of clump up in the middle of the board a bit, and then the Minotaurs are going to be off to the side. I think I can kill pretty much everything else without too much issue.
So ambushes can only still enter the board outside of 8 inches of another unit. So you have saber tusks, which you could deploy around your core of your army to actually stop him from entering along the board edges.
I do, but I just don't think I have enough to spread out to completely shut down.
It goes a long way because Minotaurs are what, on 40 by 40 or 50 by 50?
I think.
They're either on 40 by 40 or 50 by 50. And that's so 4 Minotaurs is a lot of Minotaurs to have to put in ambushes. Because remember, ambushes have to have every model in the rear rank is adjacent to the board edge, which means at most he could do 2 by 2.
Yeah.
But that's still not a lot of space for him to fit in. Like it would go a surprisingly long way with the saber tusks you have.
Yeah,
I love this list.
Yeah.
There's 2
It's
Minotaur
literally-
Bloodherd lists this time around, aren't there?
Yeah, there are, and 2 different flavors. I think the other one, everyone was joking about the -2 to hit Doom Bull. Thankfully, Chris, this is not the -2 to hit Doom Bull.
It's got -1. It's got sludge skin.
Yeah, but we should point out Icon of Fortitude
is immune
right
to
there.
multi-wounds. Yeah.
Your tenderizers kaput. So you want to avoid that. But I believe that if the unit has ambush, the Doombull or Gorbull can't join an ambushing unit.
No, not unless it has ambush itself.
Okay, so maybe they're going in the Ungor block.
Do they not get?
Oh, sorry, guys,
ambush?
we completely forgot. Can you just read out, Chris, what the or maybe we'll get Tom to do it. What the final what is the rare unit?
It's 12 Chaos Ogres, Alex. 12.
What do they have, Tom?
Well, it doesn't really matter what they've got. I think the one thing that we need to stipulate is that they might be rare, but they're infantry, which means they're scoring. So we've got 12 Chaos Ogres with great weapons, heavy armor, Mark of Noble.
12 Iron Guts.
Nurgle, I was getting
Nurgle.
there. Sorry. Mark of Nurgle, champion, standard bearer, and musician. So 12 Iron Guts. I don't remember off the top of my head what Mark of Nurgle does, but it's
reroll
maybe Alex,
sixes.
you can fill us in.
Yeah, it's the same in demons.
That's disgusting.
And, reroll 6 to hit.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's
yucky.
pretty brutal. So we've got a 500-point scoring unit in rare, in addition to the scoring units in core. So yeah, it's pretty heavy, heavy duty.
That's definitely where they're going, right? The Doom Bulls and the Gorbel, but the Chaos Ogres are on 40s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
40
see
by
what
40.
a Doom Bull's on.
I'm just
feel
looking
like
at
the
the
Doom Bulls
because
are
I'm sure he's
also-
running.
They're on 50s.
Yeah.
So that means that they can't. Well, I presume it's
They
going to
can't
be like
neatly fit in. They can.
Well,
still
I guess
fit
it'll
in,
be
but they can't neatly fit in.
4, 4, 4, and then 2 on either side.
Yeah, they'd also
Like one on
fit.
either side.
They'd also fit. I will point out quite nicely in with the Ungors. But I
Yes,
don't know.
very true.
Can
Well-
they? Do they have loner? Do Doom
No,
Bulls
I
or
d-
anything have loner? No, they
I don't think so. But the soiled tapestry on the BSB gives hatred all enemies. So I can't imagine you'd want to give that to the Ungor unit versus the ogres.
Well, that's the thing. It's extremely likely that he just has the Doom Bull and the Gorbel in with the ogres, right?
Yeah.
So the war herds are ambushing. The Minotaur herds, I should say, are ambushing. The
So-
Gorbel and the Doom Bull are in with the ogres in the same way that your gut style works.
Yeah. The Doom Bull, I'm assuming this is a Minotaur list. It doesn't say here, but it's got all of the
Yeah.
traits of it. So all of the Doom Bull, the Gorbel, and the Minotaurs are all impetuous.
Yeah.
In this list. And if the Doom Bull joins the Chaos Ogres, I don't know if they already are impetuous,
They
but
become
they
impetuous.
become impetuous. as
They
well.
would, yeah.
So that could also cause him some problems.
That's just
Particularly if I put a
leadership
bunch
now,
of
though-
saber tusks
now,
in
though,
front of
isn't
his
it?
unit. It
It's not a
is,
1,
but
2,
I
3,
don't
4,
think
5,
they have
6.
amazing. No, but they don't have amazing.
Doom Bull's
leadership.
leadership 8.
Yeah,
so
they
that
only have leadership
fails a third of the time, right?
Yeah.
We got a battle standard
What a
bearer.
Chaos Ogres.
Can that be used on impetuous rolls?
No, it's only
No.
fear, panic. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
panic and break tests that it can be used for. The BSB.
Yeah.
Veteran
reckon
would work,
what-
but I suppose a lot of units don't have veteran. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon what Chris's opponent Chris is going to want to do is basically just shove these ogres up, sort of touching his near end of the hill, and then if he impetuouses and charges, the size of the unit, he's probably still going to have the back of his unit touching the hill, depending on where that unit is placed. So I don't think he really minds about impetuous here,
No, I
to
don't
be
think he
honest.
minds at all.
So he just wants to get him up. And so he's going to have, I like this for the mission pack. But yeah, 2 ambushing Minotaur herds going for baggage trains, 23 Ungors probably holding his baggage train, and then the 12 Chaos Ogres just holding the hill in the middle. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah, and the Doom Bull, I think the Doom Bull probably got so much out of the new magic items in terms of how many ways you can build it. But looking at that, he has a 2-up armor save and a 5-up ward save because the Chaos armor is full plate with 5-up ward. Slug skin gives him. Oh no, that's gnarled hide. Slug skin is -1 to hit.
It
Nice one
is.
to hit.
Yeah, sorry. So he's got a 3-up armor save, 5-up ward, -1 to hit. Scimitar's multi-wound 2, Chris.
Mhm.
So with that, is your big boy tyrant's mount the stone skin with a stone skeleton rule? Is
It
it
would
only
reduce
just
it to
shooting,
1.
or is it all wounds?
No, it's
one,
everything. It's everything.
Everything. Okay. All right. So you've kind of you cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. He's
I
gone
think
for the
but
I think
level
I'm a
one's
higher
wizard.
weapon skill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's a tyrant's weapon skill? Is it
Six.
I think it's
7,
7.
8?
Is it?
6.
So the Doom Bull's also weapon skill 6.
Yeah.
So
I
there's,
I think the
there's at
Doomball's
least a
gotcha. I
balance
don't
there,
think you
yeah.
want to touch the Doomball. And I was going to say, if he doesn't put the Doomball in with the Chaos Ogres, you're going to want to
that's
send the tyrant straight at it. But the defense of the Doomball just
Yeah,
challenging
and
you out.
that's a good point, Tom, as well, because if he's got hatred,
Hatred,
then
everything. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. That's right.
Mm.
He can just Tyrant can go and munch on other things.
All right. Well,
So
while we're on
prediction
this,
wise,
Alex, what's your hot take to ruin Chris's day? Who's going to win?
no, I think Chris is.
You think Chris is going to win?
Yeah,
Yes, I
my
too
prediction
think Chris is going to win. Let's. What about you,
I'm
Tom? Do
gonna
you think Chris is going to win?
I'm gonna back Behemoth Chris.
wouldn't
Mostly
do that.
because he's got a Herdstone too.
He does have a Herdstone. That's the other trouble. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not too late, Alex.
I need to revisit what a Herdstone does.
It's extra victory points at the end of the game if he controls it and you don't.
Yeah, interesting. I still think you're going to do it. Take it away, Chris.
Tom?
Well, I've got to back the Ogres, don't I? So Chris is going to win.
Ogres?
Chris,
The Chaos
Chris
Ogres.
Behemoth. Behemoth Chris is going to win this. I think what you can do is stack up your defenses on your main block and pray, Pray.
It's going to be a great match to watch from a visual perspective because you can imagine
big boys
if
coming
you
in.
really wanted the Herdstone, maybe the 12 Chaos Ogres left the tribe and they've gone to things and now now they're coming to try and mess up the Tyrant and the Doomball's there and he's leading
I'm
looking
the charge.
forward.
I think
we're
you've got the
we're next to one
Mournfang.
another, Chris, too.
So the Mournfang might help against the Chaos Ogres if you can engineer a double charge. Because the size of your unit in the Iron Guts, the impact hits actually might do a bit of work there. So
I think if he decides to put all of his characters in with the Chaos Ogres as like a giant Death Star, if I can fashion multiple charges in one turn, I'll probably do it. If not, I might just avoid it entirely, to be honest.
a bad impetuous roll for him could be backbreaking. So
yeah.
But I would say in terms of sheer output, like advantage opponent Chris, not advantage Behemoth Chris, but in terms of tactical prowess,
Number one over player in Australia.
Was.
I have to reread the rules again.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to control the hill. I think he's got you there.
I think he's also got the baggage trains. So, and without a
I
BSB,
got my-
I think your Noblars are pretty
I reckon
scared.
I reckon one Gorger can fuck up an Ungor herd pretty badly.
But he can't capture the baggage train.
No, but I can deny him scoring it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going for it, I think that like the Minotaurs for ambushing are probably
They're going to do it, yeah.
his main thing because with that, I noticed he's just gone shields and weapons. They're strength 5 base, AP -2 with bull renders. I think is the rule. So hand weapons go to AP, gain an additional. They go to AP2, I believe. So they're going to be pretty good backline ambushing units, but we'll see.
I think Chris has the tools to deny the ambushes. If you play the game really tactically, I think you have the potential to stymie any attempt to get behind you. I think the Mournfang are potentially your biggest asset here in that they are fast and they are powerful and they hit real hard. And this is combat list versus combat list. And it's going to come down to what can chip away at what else in combat, finding the right charges, finding the right opportunities to get into combat on the terms that you want. I think from a defensive standpoint, the fact that you've got that 3-layered save is also potentially working in your favor should you go up against the Chaos Ogres. But I think ultimately it's going to come down to whether or not you can sort of outmaneuver him, given that he has those ambushes and he has units that are just as quick as yours, and get into the combats on the terms that you really want to be in those combats. But I think you can do it, Chris.
And one thing about the Herdstone, I'm just skimming the rules again, it's 200 victory points.
It is.
So I can see Bestial Fury reroll 1s to wound. I can see there's like an epic combo there, giving hatred out, reroll 1s to wound on your great weapon wielding ogres. But he can't place it within 6 of the middle of the board. So depending on how big it is, it might descend into a brawl. And if you control it, well, if he controls it as well, that's a bonus 200. So if he parks it on the hill, or at least near it, then it controls all of that. That's 600. Well, let's call it 500 points because we won't get for turn 1 off the hill. It's 500 points, 700 points just off the Herdstone special features, and then whatever the baggage train's worth potentially. So
I think the likely,
but it could swing.
Swing
the other way.
The likely play with the Herdstone, however, is to put it way back and to have those Ungors literally sit on it for the entire game. It's just for the victory points.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a what?
No.
You got a
Because
36 unit strength Chaos Ogre unit plus Doom Bulls plus Gore Bulls.
I don't think it's
footprint of that
necessary.
unit's going to be enormous. Put that near the hill. You can control both. You get hatred everything plus reroll 1s to wound. Like sayonara.
I
Good night.
I don't think he'll risk it. I think he'll sit with the 127 points of that Ungor herd plus the 200 points that he'll get from holding the Herdstone at the end of the game, and I think that's an easy 300 points that keeps it safe somewhere at the end of the board, which is more than enough to swing a game one way or the other. And I think, as we've sort of talked about, the Doom Bull, the Gore Bull attached to those Chaos Ogres and the ambushing Minotaurs have all the sort of things that they need to be able to handle or manage most things. So I'm a little bit skeptical about using that as offensive. I've never seen a Beastman player use it offensively. And I've played against it now 3 times and seen 2 or 3 times as many Beastman games. And I've never seen a Beastman player use it offensively.
I guess all of those Beastmen are
Chris,
just losers,
prove me
aren't
wrong.
they? So,
Prove me wrong, Chris. Prove me wrong.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let the
Let
the hate flow through you.
And it's unpainted. Can you believe
Die
that?
Stahlgeschwindigkeit.
It's going to be grey resin.
Grey
Everybody.
resin, which I've already proven is not the case because I've sprayed it for Slapchop. Die Stahlgeschwindigkeit is nearly ready to go. I've just finished painting up my baggage train, literally as we've been speaking. So this is Outrider focused Nuln. This is the list that I intended to take to the last WSWG event and then never got around to. In fact, no, that's a lie. Something else came up on the day of that event that I had to go to. And so I abandoned the opportunity, and now they've changed the players pack ever so slightly. So I've changed it ever so slightly, but I've tried to preserve efficiencies where I can. But what it boils down to is realistically only about 600 points in Outriders. It's not a huge amount of points in Outriders, and then an equivalent point in characters. So the fun part about this list, as Alex has experienced, is even if I lose all 3 Outrider units, unless you're capable of taking out the characters which turn into skirmish characters on Move 8 mounts as well, you don't end up gaining a whole lot of points against it. But it is, as I said, Outrider focused Nuln with the intention to get at least 2 of those units magical attacks. I was thinking in terms of both Alex's demons, but also the undead, and trying to utilize magical attacks against ethereal units, which had a big play at the last event, and unfortunately have no play at this event. So it feels like a little bit of wasted points to me at this point. But it is what it is. I've got Squint Soften, Marvelous Magnifiers in there for all three of the Outrider units to remove the long-range penalties. Grenade launching blunderbusses on each of them. There's 2 core units of 10 and 1 special unit of 9. I have the Nuln State Troops tax. It is as cheap as I can make it, which I think is 90 points. They are literally just 10 dudes with a 5-dude regimental unit detachment. 7 characters, General of the Empire with a Witch Hunter's Ward, Captain of the Empire with a Witch Hunter's Ward, again, to make sure that 2 of my units have Magic Resist 2. I have a Master Mage in there with a Wizard's Familiar, so that's +1 to Dispel. He will be using Illusion. I was conscious that that didn't come up in my list when I submitted it, but he is an Illusion Mage, and I will be running Illusion in all my games at the event. Hopefully for -1 for hit for his unit, which will only be Magic Resist 1. But the Immune to Panic special rules for the General and the Captain will come in handy for the Outriders units as well. Being able to just totally ignore panic on them will be very useful if I'm taking Return Fire. As I said, 2 Witch Hunters, both with the Demon. That gives them and the unit that they're with magical attacks. And then to top off things with, of course, everyone talking about -1 banners and how they're going to outwit shooting and everything else, I've got 4 cannons. So 3 great cannons and a steam tank. Three very useful. 2 of them have both Veteran and Vanguard. Vanguard on a cannon is very funny. By the way, being able to do a 4-inch move after you've placed it. 4 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but it can have a huge difference to get you from a front arc to a side arc, or just have you sort of positioned for a first turn shot that is quite funny around cover or around line of sight blocking, depending on whether your opponent is sort of willing to put themselves all the way out of potential 4-inch move for line of sight as well. And the Hosbond, the steam tank, what I finished, literally picked up the turret from Alex this morning, but it is finished. The warboat itself, the mighty one, is very ready to go. I'm so excited to put this down on the table and play with it. It's a mostly avoidance shooting list. I think everyone has tangentially heard of Outriders. I'm not actually sure whether a lot of people at WSWG have played against Nuln and the Outriders. I think one of the benefits of Nuln is that your Outriders get this veteran rule, which is specific to them, which means that they don't take Ponderous minus the additional -1 for Ponderous on any weapons that they take, and that applies to the Blunderbuss as well as their repeater handguns. So if you're moving and then firing multi-shots with them, you're only ever really hitting on 5s. If you're in cover, then obviously that ruins things. But for the most part, only hitting on 5s when you're moving is still pretty respectable for
4s.
20... No, 5s, because multi-shot. So they have
Are
no
they
long
BS4?
range. They have no long range, but they will take multi-shot. And if they're moving, then it's 5s. If they don't move, then it's 4s. Yes. But yeah, 27 shots per unit for the units of 10, plus the plus the grenade launching blunderbuss, which is D3 +1 if it hits. And those usually, if you're moving around, they're hitting on 3s, and otherwise hitting on 2s, because the champion is BS5 and it's a single shot that causes additional hits after it hits. So they're great offensive output units. I will point out, after being cast as the pariah this time around, and I will take it as fair play, because I did the same to Alex last event with his gyrocopters. But this is way less scary as a list than you think it is. The moment you are capable of, and Alex knows this, the moment you're capable of striking back against them and chipping away at the Outrider units, it diminishes real quick. So I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm looking forward to getting these models finally out of my cupboard after nearly 8 months of them sitting there unpainted and not really doing anything. I'm looking forward to having some games with an avoidance list after what seems like playing against endless avoidance lists. So I'll be enjoying some reciprocal Schadenfreude playing them on the other side. However, I don't think this is as scary as everyone seems to be making it out to be. There's no multiple wounds augments. There's the ability to avoid you, but a lot of things have a 24-inch range, and they are toughness 3 with a 5-up armor save. It's not like there's a huge amount that they can suffer. And as I said, they lose a lot of efficiency as they start to lose wounds.
I do need to apologize, Alistair, because I thought veteran outriders meant they took no movement shoot penalties.
No,
And you've just corrected, which is that they
just don't take ponderous.
just take the -1 rather than -2. I wonder if that's actually being misplayed around.
By whom?
I don't know. This is a complex game.
Because I'm pretty sure the veteran outrider rule, classic, the veteran outrider rule says something along the lines of specifically they don't take the additional -1
I'm
from
not
ponderous.
Subject to the ponderous.
The
special
ponderous.
rule.
There you go.
Yes.
So they still move. Yeah. They still move and take a penalty like everybody else. So
now, 3 great cannons. Tell me, how many great cannons did it take to kill my Lord of Change?
I think it's 7
2
cannon shots to kill him.
You did it in 2.
That's not true. That's not true.
What?
That's not true. I think it took 5 cannonballs for me to kill him. I don't think it took 2. I think it took. It took all 3 cannons plus the steam tank plus 1 more cannon on a subsequent round to kill him, and then I turned around and I shot your Lord of Change to death.
That is true. Yeah. I am laughing because literally the magical attacks, you're right, only impacts me.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Pete Jenkins with his ethereal Temple Guard block.
Yeah, well, in this, and
if he's not even taking that, then it's literally I can claim you hardtail it against me. Tom.
That was an invitation to comment, Tom.
I didn't hear it. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. He's speechless. He's speechless.
Speechless, definitely. Very good. All right,
we'll
talk about Matt's list. This is Skaven Matt. Is he new to WSWG? Is this his first WSWG event?
This is his first event
yes.
at WSWG.
I
believe it's also his first tournament.
Play against Alistair. A wind blast when a dragon off the board. That if that's not the most whack thing I've ever heard, I don't know what
something
is.
I definitely have not highlighted.
You've activated my trap card.
Yeah. And as John pointed out, John definitely warned him against it at the table at the time, but that's neither here nor there. So Matt's got Skaven, and again, after all the kerfuffle in the WSWG chat of there's going to be a lot of dead rats and la 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 la. This list can wipe me from the table in a turn. This list has the potential to wipe all 3 Outrider units in a turn. So for those of you who can't see what's on the screen, it's a Grey Seer level 3 with a Lore Familiar, 2 Power Scrolls, and the additionally purchased Warpstone tokens. So it's D3 plus 1 Warpstone tokens. He's taken Battle Magic. There's going to be a Pillar of Fire, and there's going to be an Oaken Shield, and there's going to be a Fireball. Those will be the 3. And when casting those, particularly the Fireballs, there will be a Power Scroll plus D3 additional cast modifiers that will add to that Power Scroll cast when casting Fireballs against one of my units, which pretty much guarantees an 11 or a 12.
Can he use both? Can he use both under the WSWG
because the Power Scroll
ruling?
adds a dice. It's not a modifier.
Oh, okay.
The Warpstone tokens are a modifier. So he gets his level 3 wizard modifier, and then he gets the Warpstone token modifier. But Power Scrolls just allow you to add a dice. So he may well decide Oakenshield is discretion is the better part of valor, and Oakenshield is where one of those power scrolls will go to try and make sure that whatever unit of clan rats that Grey Seer ends up in gets a ward save. I think it's far more likely that he reserves both of those power scrolls for fireballs. It's exactly what I would do if I were him. And magic resist 2 or otherwise, plus my +2 to dispel wizard. I think I'm in a lot of trouble if I have to suffer more than one of those fireballs at a time, or he doesn't get extremely unlucky and miscast himself to death. There's a second Grey Seer that fills the dispel version of this. So he's got a dispel scroll, again, battle magic, probably fishing for another fireball and or pillar. But a dispel scroll, the scroll of disruption, which is the new, allows you to reroll one dispel attempt per turn. Also a level 3, no additional warpstone tokens this time around. But that one is just the pure defensive dispel version of the Grey Seer. So 500 points of magic users plus a Skaven Chieftain with a Storm Banner. The Storm Banner is once per game. He can activate it, and it basically gives -1 to hit for all opponents shooting for a round, which is not great for me. Yes. Has to do it his turn, can't do it in mine, fortunately. And it is for a round, but it could be for a pivotal round where he needs to survive. He's got 2 units of clan rats with warp grinders. The warp grinders gives the unit ambushes, which is very good. So a unit of 20 and a unit of 24. And then he's got a unit of 28 and a unit of 24 clan rats with rattling guns. Rattling guns are basically strength 4 organ guns, which have quick shot. And can move and shoot, which is pretty funny. And an 18-inch.
And don't suffer multi-shot.
Yeah, because they're organ guns. So they're 18-inch range, I believe. So rattling guns, very good. Rat swarms for some giggles, and I'm sure to provide him with a bit of cover for his units as well. Lots of
swarms.
Yes,
they can't.
Can they not? Do they not give infantry units behind them cover?
Well, swarms means that you can draw a line of sight over them without an issue.
2 units of 2 poisoned wind globadiers, which they're a strength 2 poisoned weapon and a 6 always wounds no matter the toughness. And there's 2 of them. They move and shoot. I think they have a 9-inch range, but they move and shoot quick shot. So the idea is that you move or march with those units of poison wind globadiers and throw them, and they're D3 +1 hits for each one that hits. 2 warp lightning cannons and a doom wheel. The doom wheel I'm really looking forward to because they're so much fun, simply because of the special rule that means at the end of each shooting phase, it's not just theirs. Yeah, each shooting phase they put the templates down and they scatter and they can do stuff. That's really fun. But 2 warp lightning cannons with, as was discussed in the WSWG chat, they have no line of sight requirements. They are, despite the fact that it says that they're a shooting weapon and they're a shooting weapon, and standard when you choose it, when you shoot a shooting weapon, you pick a target. The WSWG guys have said it is a straight line shot. So I think they can literally sit behind impassable terrain or sit behind a terrain feature, shoot through the terrain feature in a straight line, be totally untargetable, and just shoot whatever they want. So warp lightning cannons, fun. The strength thing is fun. So it's 8d6, I think, that they can potentially roll because it's random distance.
Distance is 8d6, yeah.
But then you throw an artillery dice to figure out what the strength of it is.
So it could be strength 10.
Could be strength 10. It could be strength 2. So you don't know until you get to that point. If you roll a misfire, then that's where the cannon elements of it all go in. But warp lightning cannons, yeah, for 110 points, there's the potential for them to do a lot of work. So intentional or otherwise, there's a lot of tools in this list to deal with a list like mine. I actually think that Matt, returning or not with this list, he's going to have a good day. I think there's lots of things that he's capable of doing and lots of threats that he's capable of managing with this list. Like Skaven are fast. They move 5. So when they need to be quick, they can be quick. He can pick Arcane Urgency if he needs to move one of those Clan Rat units in Mission 2. with the baggage train. The Globadiers make great cover. The ambushing units of clan rats are very fun. The 2 Grey Seers are about as powerful magic casters as you can get in the game, particularly the Power Score Warpstone token one. So yeah, I think Matt's going to have a great time, and I think personally, this game literally comes down to, and I'm a little bit sad, but then this is the list that I've taken, right? But I think it comes down to whoever gets first turn is ultimately going to be at a huge advantage for this game. If he gets it first, then there's a lot of damage he can do to my Outriders before I get the chance to really cudgel him with them. And he can set me back a turn. If I go first, there's the potential that I kill the entire unit with one of his Grey Seers in it, including the Grey Seer, and take a massive threat off the board. So, yeah, I think it's going to boil down to whoever ends up going first in his game versus me. Alex?
On Swarms, it states, swarms consist of small and insignificant creatures. As such, a line of sight can be drawn across swarms as if they weren't there.
There you go. So they
in addition, swarms are ignored when attempting to target enemy characters. So I've always played it as they don't provide cover under that. That seems pretty clear to me. There's some like bugs on the ground. Can't provide cover, but yeah.
There you go.
Maybe get that checked just to be sure. I think there's logic there.
Yeah.
Have to remind you, Alice, clan rats are toughness 3 with a 5-up save.
They are.
So going to 6-up, that's still a lot of dead rats.
I think if I'm hitting on 4s, I think it's like 12 to 14 on average, with the ability to spike up way higher than that. So 12 to 14, I mean 14 is half of his biggest unit. So there's the potential, again, as I said, if I get first turn and the Outriders can position to target a single unit and burn it down, there's the potential to do a lot of damage and kill one of the characters or 2 of the characters that sit in that unit. It opens me up to return shooting by potentially 2 rattling guns, which isn't fun. But I think that's the variance, because I'm not sure in game 1 I can afford to sit at 24 inches of his army and take pot shots if he's just going to march straight onto the hill and take the hill with scoring units. I think I have to have a presence there. And the steam tank will probably help, but I have to have a presence there. And the warp lightning cannons have the potential to really be upsetting, depending on the distance and the strength that he ends up rolling. It's a real unknown. He could do nothing. The warp lightning cannons could do nothing. But the fact that I can't counter shot them, because they'll probably be sitting behind cover that I can't shoot through, that is a big play. So, Alex, your prediction?
Oh, it's tough. It's really tough, mostly because I kind of coerced this challenge. I just think, like, the warp lightning cannon thing with the baggage train is interesting, because you could put a baggage train down with a warp lightning cannon on either side behind a building and shoot away. I don't think you have a chance in hell in getting to his baggage train.
No, not at all.
So you need to play for the central objective and kill points. Probably not a bad thing. I mean, it's 22 to 26 inches range of the warp lightning cannon on most shots. If they're positioned right at the back of the board behind a piece of terrain, that still gives you a pretty decent safe zone. And so, oh gosh, I think I'm leaning towards you.
Fair. Tom?
I think the first turn is going to be a big thing. You know, if you can start knocking down his larger units that you think are going to be positioned to take the hill, then yeah, I agree with Alex. Just playing for the hill and protecting your baggage train is probably the main thing. But I think, as you've said, he can just neuter you so quickly if he gets first turn. So it's going to be interesting. I think it comes down to like turn 2, top of turn 3 kind of vibe in terms of turn order. But yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be fun. I've never played against Skaven before, so this would be. I'm a bit jealous I think this is really cool.
I mean, if you've had a look in the chat, he posted his army yesterday or the day before. It's a beautiful looking Skaven army. It's just one of those like endless horde style
Yep.
armies,
Yeah,
and
nice.
it looks fabulous. It looks so good. I'm very excited to see it on the board, for sure.
I'm sure Matt is a lovely guy. And he was playing Pete the other day on Warhol, and it was probably the most polite match I've ever listened to. Lots of pleases and thank yous, no rules disputes.
Oh, look, it'll be fun either way. I mean,
Yeah, and his army is going to look beautiful. I think he might even do commission painting on the side. I think in some cases. So
there you go. And my
you've got no
Slapchop
excuse now.
Slapchop army that I'm going to hastily base on Friday night / Saturday morning, early Saturday morning. Yeah, definitely. The bases will still be wet when I turn up the event. Most likely, I'll be doing it on the train. Chris, what do you reckon?
I'm going to have to go with the guy that painted 96 clan rats over the guy that painted 29 outriders. So it's just the way it is.
Fair,
Also,
that's not even all the clan rats he has either.
Let's just acknowledge that Skaven are coming. Like two things. Skaven are going to Masters in the UK. That was a shock, I think, to that scene. And B, they're coming to Oldhammer. Again, we can't ignore the historical past that Skaven has had at the event. A storied and well-respected faction to be played.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to look for the photos now just to visualize what you're about to see. Oh my God.
I'm glad you found it.
Oh no.
His doom wheel looks perfect as well. It's like it's on a tilt. It's on a tilt with it looks so good. It looks so good. So I think there's this element of I don't care about the lives of my, like, it's a really Skaven list. I can't take away from that at all. Like, it's very, with the overcasting grace here, it's very risk versus reward, with a very heavy emphasis on the risk of potentially going off like a Grace here gnawing on Warpstone while at the same time hyping himself up to do these massively powerful spells and potentially blowing himself up. I think there's a great theme with all of the clan rats and all of the bodies. The fact that warp lightning cannons could shoot into combat as well, so they might be shooting through his own clan rats into combats if the steam tank gets mired down with units.
Yep.
Like there's lots to it to enjoy. And the doom wheel putting down the templates everywhere.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, Skaven is up there with Orcs and Goblins players as usually the most fun people to play as well. Like, there's just so much going on. They're having a great time. I have no idea what's going on. Things are exploding. Everyone's just having fun. So
I'm really looking forward to it. Like, there's a lot of it's quite efficient, but it's also like it's true to the Skaven principles, and it feels like a list that's still very, it is about just overwhelming force, hitting things in soft spots whenever you can, no matter the sacrifice that causes. Like, it's a great list. I think Matt's gonna have a great time.
Thank you, Matt, for grudging Alistair. You're giving us great entertainment.
This is all content planned by Alex, Matt. Hobby. So we're near the end. Tom.
God, I'm so excited. It's been so long. This is my hobby at the moment. What I've been working on, I've based one of the big ogres. I'm working on a bunch of different skin tones to basically vary up the units that these 12 or 13-year-old sculpts bring to the table. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more dynamism with the skin tones and the bases and seeing what I can do. Really, really exciting. So you can see the ogre on the left is fully painted, except I haven't finished the snow on the base. And I'm also not 100% keen on the static flock that I've used, which I believe is Army Painter static, green grass or something similar. And you can actually see in the circular base that I've done there's a bit of yellowing on the snow. And I believe that's actually because whatever Valhallan Blizzard is when you place it on top of that static grass, it just seems to bleach or bleed the static grass a little bit. So I'm going to be playing around with that. I've just bought Alice's recommended
This is great
snow.
content.
Totally
really
without
excited for that.
controversy snow. Yep, fabulous.
Yep, totally without controversy snow. So I'm going to try that tonight or tomorrow, whatever. And hopefully, start videoing the process of doing some of these bases and sort of how I got to the decision of what materials to use and stuff like that. So that's coming this week, and that's my hobby that I'm working on, and I'm super excited to have a paintbrush back in my hand. I love it. And you know what? I'm kind of maybe in a crazy psychopathic way, I'm kind of excited about painting these 60 or 70 Noblars that I've got. Call me crazy. I want to do it, and I'm really
call
excited.
you crazy. You are crazy.
Have you gone to Express Paints yet? I think you tried one.
Yeah, so Noblar in top right corner is an Express Paint, and it looked fucked. So, so what I'm going to do is I've actually hand painted over the top of that without any slap chop or anything like that. As crazy as that sounds. Top left also hand painted. Bottom right is croak green with some extra stuff in there. So I'm just playing just to see what I like. And, you know, if every single Noblar ends up looking a little bit different, I don't care because I'm a freak. And I'm really excited for it.
Some of those speed paints, if you do 2 coats, can kind of like fix up some of the issues with them.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did a couple of coats on sort of each one. Yeah. But, God, I just want to paint ogres.
Shaker balls.
Like, I just love that part. What'd you say?
I said shaker balls, Tom.
Well, if you'd like to donate some.
It's like $7 off Amazon. And I would highly recommend on Alex's stupid purchases that actually came out well, product of the week, is to drop one of these shaker balls into every Express bottle that you own.
Every paint
Probably
bottle.
a good rule of thumb for every paint bottle. Because, Tom, I've experienced it before. I pretty much have mostly Express paints now, whereby if you let that settle and you don't shake it enough, it comes out glossy.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly. So it not in all colors, but it does sometimes happen. But the shaker balls in there, after 10 seconds of shaking, you'll eliminate that.
10 seconds of shaking, a lifetime of difference. So anyway, the ogre I'm really excited for. I'm just really keen to get these on the board. And and Chris and I, we're going to the doubles event in February. Rumor has it that we're both playing ogres. So I think I'm going to use that as an excuse to get a lot of my completely not going to be touching the table normally models painted. So I'm really excited for that, and we'll see.
That'd be good.
Rumor has it.
Looking fantastic.
Chris.
Yes. I have been doing painting. No, it's not Old World.
Typical.
Going to CanCon and I'm playing War Master. So I got a Dark Elf army. It's about maybe 2/3 painted. Painted those Cold War Knights there. I've got another set of Cold War Knights in the background there that I've started to paint. And then I've got Harpies, a Hydra, and some characters to do. And then that's it. The Old World stuff that I was doing, I finally cracked out my movement trays, the ones that I bought for the ogres. I just never assembled them. They're really good. Highly recommend them. I feel like I got
Was
them
it back to basics?
I feel like I do, so that probably doesn't show up very well.
Yeah, looks like back to basics.
Not great. Anyway, I got the magnet ones. So this literally you build it like you would any of the trays, and it sits in, and then you just it's got adhesive on the magnet. You just stick it on.
It's
so good. Yeah.
So good. Australian shipping as well.
Yeah. Highly recommend
South Australia.
that. But in terms of hobby for this weekend, I'll try and get my butcher painted up. And maybe base the Noblars, but it depends on time.
But you'll have a fully painted army by Saturday?
Are you counting the baggage train?
Yep.
Probably not then.
That's an interesting one because, like, I think some guys are coming with just bases.
Like my baggage train is like probably 60% painted. I don't
Yeah.
think I'll. So for everyone playing at home, I'm using the Greasus model from 8th Ed
Nice.
as my baggage train. So it's in terms of baggage train, I feel like it is quite intricate to paint. There's a lot of detail on there. So yeah, I'm about 60% done through him. I don't think I have the time to finish that before Saturday.
Fair.
No
Fair,
excuses,
Chris.
mate.
Fair. Fair, mate.
No excuses.
You'll be too busy painting my army. Alex?
Yep. So this is my probably actually one of my favorite models of all time now. My Nurgling swarms on the right hand side, and my beasts of Nurgle.
They look so cool. The beasts look so cool.
The beasts are an interesting model. Shout out Rescale Miniatures. It's a bit of one of their older models, but as soon as I saw it, I thought I've got to try and get that in somewhere. By the way, that thing scaled down from like an enormous size. That's about 40% of its original size.
Yeah, they look like the Kong Skull Island spider things. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And so I just the image I've always had in my mind of with Nurgle and the Nurgle Garden is, yes, the beasts of Nurgle have a side which is like they're the playful, like dogs, pets of Nurgle, and they go around and do things, but this is more like these are the garden tenders that still fulfill their function as being beasts of Nurgle, but not necessarily the slug, dog thing that you see rolling around. So I really love it. The models, and they're super easy to paint. Super easy to paint.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Alex.
Airbrush, baby.
Hey, Alex. Fuck you.
Yeah. But yes, that is it. I've also got my Demon Prince here, who
turn the presentation off, Alex. I think this is the last slide anyway. Turn it off.
Let me have a look. Oh yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Turn it off so the people can actually see it when you highlight yourself.
Yeah. So I got my Demon Prince here.
Beautiful.
That's a sick model as well.
Yeah. Terrible. On the
it's
camera,
almost like you should use your iPhone 17 Pro Max.
Yeah, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. But it's an awesome model. And
tell everyone how you're going to ruin the model.
I'm not going to ruin it, Chris. I'm not going to ruin it, Chris.
Explain the basing.
It comes on a very fluffy thematic base.
Right? I look forward to you knocking it over.
It's not 8 times the size, but you can see the tentacles coming out of the ground, right? And so she's a princess of Tzeentch. Thank you, Alistair.
Get woke, Alex.
With the twin heads, as you can see, there's 2 twin crow heads on the upgrade. Catch that one. I only thought about that tonight as we were on stream, but lore accurate. But I need to do the OSL. There's you can see the white spots. Those are actually going to be eyes. So the demon eyes there. And there is a base because I want it to be about like demonic energy as she's coming
out of the warp.
It's themed to my baggage train, which will all be revealed. And then I've got 15 of these guys to oil wash and base tonight because I'm playing Dave tomorrow. We're having a Garage Hammer warm-up game.
Nice.
Very good. As far as I go, you've heard me complain repeatedly this evening about what I've still got to go. I've still got the bulk of my army to paint at this point.
So I've still got Outriders to go.
I've still got 29 Outriders. I've got 2 of the test models done, and then I've got 27 of them still to do. And at this point, I'm fully genuinely considering watering down some brown paint and just painting
the base.
Just painting the whole thing brown and then going back over the tack with a wash, like a dark wash to differentiate it, and then coming back and fixing colors on the horses later. Because at this point, I feel like I'm definitely running out of time. And they're quite intricate riders, which is the problem that I've left myself with. Every rider is sort of somewhat unique. I think I said this to you, Alex, like some of them are wearing in the form of like the proper German dragoons, they wear like half plate. So they're literally wearing one glove that is mailed and one glove that is in leather. And, you know, some of them have sabatons and greaves, and some of them don't. Some of them have knee plates. So it's not like I've got a lot of models that I can just, I'm looking at them now, a lot of models that I could just paint in the same way. It's gonna be an involved process, and I'm just not sure I have the time at this point. However, I will be proud to put Die Holzbond on the table, because I am so happy with this model. I just love the dude hanging off the side. Like, he is my favorite part of this model. This dude, like Pirates of the Caribbean, it off the side of this land ship, while his mates up the top are sort of pointing where to go in their little turret. It's a very fun model, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And then, as we were speaking tonight, I got the majority of this guy done. So this is my baggage train. This is little oxen dude with a cart, and he's got his cart full of goods that will help the Nolan Outriders. Got most of him done. Fortunately, I've got all the characters done for the army. It's literally just the rank
You'll
and
be
file that I
right.
have left. It will be, as I said, they will be painted. They just won't be painted well. So I look forward to at least getting them on the table, and having a game with a painted army will be very, very fun. But that's it. That's it for us. Thank you for sticking around. If you've made it to the 2-hour point, which I'm sure after editing it will be at about that right now. There's lots more to come from the Behemoths this year. We'll be so excited to share a little bit more about what you can expect over the next few months. We've given you a bit of a teaser about what we'll be working on, but maybe we'll look to try and share some of our bigger projects as we do get further on in the year. That said, keep an eye out every couple of weeks for an episode from us. If you'd like to become a patron, you can find the link in the show notes description as well. But also check out the other channels that we've had conversations with over the last little while. Old World Fanatics, the 2+ podcast. Check out all of our guests that we had all last year. Check out our guests as we bring them on. All of them give amazing opinions and interesting insights around the old world, and we're very, very lucky to get them on our pod as often as we do. But that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything to add, gents, before we do sign off?
Up the
No.
ogres.
Up the ogres. 5 ogres. More than 10% of the
rats.
field.
No, there's only 3.
yeah,
I just
right.
checked the lists. And Bobby, whatever his name is, not only is he not going to surpass Chris Hallett and Tom Harper as top 3 ogre players in Australia, but he's also not playing ogres. I couldn't find him. So I don't know what's going on.
No, he's definitely there.
He's definitely
there.
Is his name Ewan, Chris Hallett, or someone else?
No,
No, he's
Well,
there on
no.
as Bobby.
he's got like 80 Noblars.
Bobby wasn't on the list unless it's changed.
Well, that's a good point. It may have changed. It may have changed, because I see what you mean. I'm scrolling through it and I can't see him either. He'll appear. He'll turn up. We know he's coming. We know he's playing ogres. Cool. Leave it at that. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time.